The glass doors of the office tower closed as the cool night air settled outside. CEO Alina Malik paused beside her luxury car, lost in thought. Once again, the quiet single father, Arman, had handed in his reports and left without complaint. There was a strange peace in his eyes. Alina ran a billion-dollar company, yet her own life felt painfully empty. Her days were filled with meetings, contracts, and investor calls. Still, she never felt real happiness. Arman's calm smile after exhausting work confused her deeply. How could someone so burdened look so content? That night, curiosity won. Alina dismissed her driver and decided to follow Arman herself. She kept a safe distance behind his old motorcycle. Instead of heading toward wealthy neighborhoods, he turned into narrow streets of an old part of the city. She felt surprised. At the corner of a small alley, Arman parked his bike. 3 little girls ran out of a modest house shouting, "Daddy's home!" Their laughter filled the quiet street with warmth. Alina watched from her car, stunned. She had never seen such genuine joy. The triplets grabbed his bag and helmet. One held his hand as they walked inside together. He looked tired, but he laughed and joked with them. There was no sign of stress. It was as if stepping into that house erased his exhaustion. Through the softly lit window, Alina could see the small living room. The furniture was simple and worn, yet the atmosphere felt rich with love. Arman cooked dinner while the girls worked on homework. When one made a mistake, he corrected her gently. Watching them, Alina remembered her own childhood. Her father had been wealthy but distant. Dinner conversations were silent and cold. No one had ever helped her with homework. In that quiet alley, she realized money had never filled the emptiness inside her. After dinner, Arman washed the dishes. The girls whispered to one another and made him sit on the couch. The youngest smiled and announced, "Daddy, tonight is our bedtime mission." Arman laughed softly, clearly familiar with this tradition. They opened an old storybook, but instead of asking him to read, they began telling him a story. The first girl said, "The hero gets tired but never quits." The second added, "Because he knows someone is waiting for him at home." The third rested her head on his shoulder and whispered, "And the hero is never alone because he has his family." Tears filled Arman's eyes as he hugged all 3 of them tightly. Alina felt her heart tremble watching this moment. Something inside her began to melt. For years, she had only heard about profits, losses, and targets. No one had spoken to her with such pure love. For the first time, she understood what true success might actually mean. Suddenly, the youngest girl glanced toward the window. "Daddy, there's a lady in the car. She looks like she's crying." Arman stepped outside calmly. Alina froze, unable to drive away. He approached gently and asked, "Are you all right?" She hesitated before answering softly, "I was just passing by." But tears continued falling. The 3 girls joined him outside. One handed her a tissue. Another asked innocently, "Are you alone? You can listen to our story too." For the first time in years, Alina smiled without effort. She stepped out of the car and sat with them in the small courtyard. The girls repeated their bedtime mission story. Every word felt like it was meant for her heart. Arman offered her a cup of tea. Embarrassed, she admitted, "I thought success was everything, but tonight I realize something is missing." Arman replied kindly, "Everyone needs someone who waits for them." His words were simple but powerful. As the night deepened, Alina spoke honestly about her lonely life. The girls listened carefully. Then the youngest gently held her hand and said, "Auntie, when your heart feels sad, just say goodnight to someone." That simple advice felt like therapy. Before leaving, she whispered, "Good night." For the first time, the word carried meaning. She drove home feeling lighter than she had in years. Something inside her had changed forever. The next morning at the office, employees were shocked. The CEO greeted everyone warmly. She introduced family-friendly policies and childcare support. Armin received a well-deserved promotion. But the greatest transformation was not in the company. It was in her heart. That evening, she returned to the small house, not secretly this time. The triplets ran to hug her. She realized her heart, once closed by ambition and loneliness, was finally open. Looking up at the sky, she whispered, "Success isn't numbers. It's the prayers and love of people." The girls waved and called out together, "Good night, Auntie." Tears filled her eyes again. But this time, she was no longer alone.